let's talk about feminism in the United States. Not the entire history of women's rights, not just women's suffrage, not the 19th Amendment. That's important history, but it's not the focus of this paper one topic. Instead, we're stepping into the 1960s when a new generation of women began asking a different question. They already had the right to vote. So why did so many still feel unequal? That question sits at the heart of this focus study. One of the best places to begin is with a book. In 1963, Betty Friedan published The Feminine Mystique. If you've never heard of it before, don't worry, you don't need to memorize every chapter. What you do need to understand is why the book mattered. Friedan interviewed educated, middle-class, suburban women who, on paper, seemed to have everything society expected them to want: a husband, children, a comfortable home. Yet many described a deep sense of dissatisfaction. Friedan called this the problem that has no name. Whether you agree with her conclusions or not, the book started a national conversation. Historians care about conversations that change society. But here's something students often miss. The feminist movement didn't appear out of nowhere. History almost never works like that. The civil rights movement had already shown Americans how to organize protests. Legal challenges, marches, grassroots activism could all bring about change. Many women who became leaders in the feminist movement had participated in the civil rights movements. They borrowed strategies, they borrowed language, they borrowed the belief that ordinary people could reshape society. That's already one of our 4 historical concepts: cause and consequence. Ideas don't emerge in isolation. They build on what came before. Now let's meet some of the key organizations. In 1966, Friedan and Pauli helped found the National Organization for Women, or NAW. Their goal was to achieve greater equality through legal reform and political action, but not everyone agreed with their approach. Just 2 years later, a more radical group called the Feminists broke away. They believed NOW was moving too slowly and wasn't challenging traditional gender roles strongly enough. Then in 1973, the National Black Feminist Organization was founded. Its members argued that mainstream feminism only focused primarily on the experience of white, middle-class women while overlooking the realities faced by Black women. Notice what's happening here? One movement, multiple perspectives, different priorities, different experiences. That's another IB concept: perspectives. Historians don't ask which group was right. They ask, why did different groups within the same movement see the world differently? Now let's connect this back to paper 1. Remember our 3 command terms? Explain, analyze, examine. Question 13 asks you to explain what the source is saying. Question 14 asks you to analyze the content of the source. Question 15 asks you to examine the perspectives across the sources. Notice something important? You don't need to memorize the movement. Instead, you're being asked to think like a historian while using the movement as your evidence. Finally, let's bring in the 4 historical concepts one more time. Cause and consequence. How did the feminine mystique help inspire organized activism? Continuity and change. What changed for women during the 1960s and 70s, and what inequalities remained? Perspectives. How did NOW, the Feminist, and the National Black Feminist Organization disagree about the best path forward? Significance. Why does this movement still matter today? Those are the exact kinds of questions historians ask, and they're exactly the kinds of questions you'll learn to answer through this focus study. In the next episode, we'll go even deeper in exploring the legal doctrine of coverture and understanding why it's essential to understanding the women's movement. I'll see you there.